Master Obi-Wan Kenobi. I regret to report that both our Jedi Order and the Republic have fallen, with the dark shadow of the Empire rising to take their place. This message is a warning and a reminder for any surviving Jedi. Trust in the Force.
They've outgrown their age of rebellion, dulled the Empire's edge, defeated Imperial generals and the Pirate Queen's dredge. They've been soldiers and scoundrels, what's there left to be? How about lost acolytes looking for their force and destiny? There's a seer, hermit, investigator, and teacher. Better watch your back or a vibe or ring's gonna reach you. Will this team find the light or will darkness win the day? Find out with the heroes of the Hydian Way.
Previously on Heroes of the Hydian Way, the four heroes, Hillary, Kesh, Skip, and Koba, travel through the heights and depths of the city Jora, searching for a mystical Jedi crystal. Looking for an in with the locals, they explored the abandoned shadows underneath. They wandered the streets above. They made connections with individuals on both sides of the tracks. They made friends and enemies. After duking it out with a gang of local toughs in a factory, they headed for a booby-trapped building to meet a notoriously secretive soul. Will they make it through his hideout? Or will they lose all of the ground they have gained? Join them this week as they play with chutes and ladders.
Welcome to Heroes of the Hydian Way. This is a Star Wars actual play podcast, and we're playing in Fantasy Flight Games' Force and Destiny systems, using the Chronicles of the Gatekeeper adventure as developed by Tim Cox and Max Brook. This is Act 2, Episode 16, and I'm Ben, the GM for this adventure.
I'm Koba, Doug, Sentinel Investigator / Sheehan expert in training. Self-taught. Night classes once a week.
Is it a correspondence course?
Hypothetically.
Interesting. Well, I'm Hillary Alaric. I am the Alina sagely teacher. I'm also self-taught, which is to say, life has taught me through experiences of varying degrees of excitement. Yes, we'll say that.
So did life teach you how to be sagely?
Oh, that's just, that's experience. At certain levels, you kind of get a feel for things. Clearly.
Huh.
It's like the old saying goes, when life gives you lemons, you trace the origin of the lemons to the smuggler who got them onto the planet. Then you figure out who paid for it. And then maybe you have the answers you were looking for.
What if you just wanted a lemon?
No, I don't like lemons.
And I'm Kesh, the Trandoshan Mystic Seer, and mostly I know how to move things with my mind and how to shoot lightning, apparently. That was also a correspondent course.
All right, well, you all have very intimidating educational pedigrees. I'm Skip. I'm just sort of our resident hermity weirdo. Self-taught, though. Right, Gudge? Yeah. All right, now I feel awkward.
You have many skills, Skip.
Skip attended the School of Hard Knocks. It's a planet in the rim.
Upon what did they knock?
No, it's not spell.
Probably doors.
There's a apostrophe in it.
The word hard?
No, hard.
I mean,
Knocks
if it's
is
a
planet.
name, I
Hard.
suppose there could always be apostrophes. They end up in the weirdest
Hard
places.
D. Hard apostrophe D. Yeah,
Ah,
that makes sense.
I'm not familiar with this world, Koba. You'll have to tell me more later.
It's remote.
It's, like the great hero Farfetch D. No? All right.
I thought that was a Pokemon.
A what?
Squirtle.
Gotta catch them all.
To learn more about our heroes, we get one to ask another a question. It is now Koba's turn.
Oh boy. Hey, Skip.
Mhm.
Given a time of recording, it's the 16th of May, which,
Mhm.
as we all know,
Mhm.
is the birthday of, well, a pinnacle film in our culture. You ever been to a beach?
Well, see, the thing is that while, yes, I do hail from, an aquatically natured group of beings, the problem is that salt water is actually terrible for us. So I avoid beaches because I wouldn't say necessarily that we're allergic, but it's really bad for our skin.
Mm-hmm.
Also, sand just, sticks to us weirdly. I just don't like it.
I was going to ask your opinion of sand.
It leaves
to
a
commemorate
residue.
the date. A residue? It is coarse and rough.
Very irritating.
Yeah. And, it gets everywhere. Mm-hmm. But mostly it's the salt water.
Yeah. Salt water is soft and smooth.
No, it's not. It hurts. It's like spiky water.
And our destiny pool for this session consists of 4 light side points and 1 dark side point, as I do my job without having to interrupt Ben this time. Instead, I just interrupted Ren.
Last time, our heroes were in a pickle.
I thought we were in a garbage truck.
There might have been pickles. You don't know.
Skip, you were looking for a pickle?
I like pickles.
Well, no. Pickles are too salty. I've mentioned salt as a problem before, right? Yes.
Does it dry you out?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
So it's like all salt.
Well, I mean, you can have some in moderation, and I know I'm not really a being that's, ever advocates for moderation, but salt is definitely a moderation.
But is that why you like sweets so much?
You're kind of Arcona-like.
Well, they just get addicted to salt. It's like a drug for them. Well, stay away from packaged foods then.
All those preservatives.
The camera looks up. Taking up the entire vision of this camera is a skyscraper. There may be buildings that are taller on other sides, but this 50-story tall building has landing pads, it has sky bridges going to other buildings. Most of the lights are out, and off in the background you can see past the arch that is holding up the bridge city. You can see the clouds that have opened up with rain as they crash with lightning. And the camera tilts down, sweeping over the nearly abandoned building. A flicker of light here, a flicker of light there. As the camera looks at lower and lower levels, you can start seeing off in one corner the irregular flickering of what could be a bin fire. Then the camera focuses in on these 2 doors, each one roughly the size of a hover truck. For the moment, they are closed. Then they creak open slowly and reveal inside a dimly lit cavern. A cavern that a freshly loaded dump truck is pulling out of. You can see where the driver's position would be is a droid that is looking around. It looks almost chipper as they've got their hands up on the giant wheel as the truck goes up a slight incline, bouncing. Yo, Joe! It continues out with a low throb of the hover jets underneath. As soon as the dumpster that it's taking out is through the doors, they start closing again, seeming to provide pretty good security on the place. Right before the doors close, the camera slides forward as it starts rising up, proving that it's on one of those hover news droids. It turns around and you can see on top of a identical refuse bin is our 4 heroes. The kathwump of the outer door closing. Looking around, it's a dimly lit loading dock area that has a position for 2 refuse bins, It looks like there's a diverter for the garbage chute to go from one to the other, whichever one is loaded in.
I'm going to pull my glow rod from my belt and turn it on. Might flicker for a moment just to hit it, make sure the battery, is in place. She hasn't used this thing for a while, but give us a little bit of light.
For the most part, it looks pretty Spartan inside. There is a gap from the hopper that loads the bin and the chute in the ceiling.
How smooth is the chute? Are there like segments at all anywhere where like somebody could get a hand or a claw hold? And how like large are we talking about here?
I'm figuring that it's about 3 feet wide, where a normal silhouette one probably would be able to lean their shoulders against and kick their feet out to the other side.
Okay.
It is smooth on the inside of the shaft. There are lips that come down. If anything, it kind of looks like the garbage barrels style refuse bins on construction sites.
Okay.
Garbage chutes that they have on construction sites, where it's just a giant ladder of refuse bins with the bottoms cut out. In this case, it's metal and properly flanged in that, but the idea being it goes up as far as it needs to, and each segment is replaceable.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be pretty smooth coming down.
Okay.
So we made it in. That's a step in the right direction. Where else should we be going now? Hillary's casting a weather eye up at the smooth-walled chute.
Well, now we gotta go up to the middle floors was the idea, right?
What, you've never had to break into a place like this before? You just have to put your feet on one side and then shimmy up using your back. And this is where Skip realizes that Hillary's tiny. Well, maybe we can all do that shimmy part and you can... Kesh, can you send Hillary up?
Not that high. I could...
No, I just mean as we're shimmying, you just... I don't know how your wizard stuff works. Is it just sort of like a mental tether? Can you just float Hillary with us?
I'll admit I've never maintained it for longer than a few seconds on something before. I could try, or I could just carry Hillary.
That's probably a better point.
Maybe you could use the force to fling Hillary straight up, and then take a breather, and then catch Hillary before he hits the ground on the way back down. And we'll just kind of work our way up.
This sounds like a spectacular way to fall to the dark side.
It sounds like a spectacular way to fall to the ground.
We could send Hillary up and, with a rope to throw down to us.
Do we have it? I don't think we have any rope.
We're in a loading dock. I'm sure there's a hose somewhere.
Look, I'm pretty sure I can carry Hillary. In fact, Hillary might be able to do me a favor because I don't know how I'm going to climb while carrying a staff.
I have a climbing kit, so I probably have rope.
Okay, so fine. Okay, you have rope.
So it's 3 foot wide. Is that square?
It is circle.
I'm sorry, you said square?
Circle.
Circular, but it's 3 foot around, so it's around about what I am tall.
Radius or diameter?
I'm trying to think of the chute that I had back when I was a kid. No, that was 3 foot by 3 foot square. That's what it should be.
So how much rope or liquid cable or whatever does a climbing kit have? Is it feasible for us to get up there and then lower a rope for Hillary like Skip suggested?
I was generally figuring that it would be about a 50-foot rope.
It says, please see page 180 of the Edge of the Empire core rulebook. Thanks. App. I do have the core rulebook near me.
Mine's in a different room as well.
I mean, we don't know for sure how far up it is to a place to secure a rope, so I don't know if we have the information to answer if we have enough rope yet.
Well, theoretically, there's got to be a chute at
Each floor, yeah.
Most floors.
Why don't one of you...
Here's the other way we can try to play it. We could climb up, see if we can secure a rope or something else to then lower back down to Hillary. That way we can get the information we need and not be worried about dropping Hillary to an untimely death.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only real course of action here is somebody goes up and sees what the situation is.
Is there a
'Cause
dumb
we're just
waiter?
making guesses. Like, there's no guarantee that the chute opens on every floor. Even if it did, there's no, like, if this guy is locked down this building, it's very possible that most of those openings have been closed off in a way that means they're not useful to us. We just don't know.
Question.
Yes.
Is there other ductwork in this room? Like, maybe some air circulation things.
Yes, there is air circulation, but it's more like sensible air circulation as opposed to Nakatomi Plaza air circulation.
Why, I don't need it to be Bruce Willis sized.
I mean, it probably could be Hillary-sized.
I mean, I know that I've gotten a bit comfortable around the middle, but I'm still not what you would call a large being.
No. You want to try your own way up.
Perhaps I could take the other venue, and we will agree to meet on the next floor up, or 3 floors up.
Well, we want to hit the middle floors is what we had talked about previously.
Were we going to do the shoot the whole way?
We need to at least clear the first 3 floors. No, it's the 3 floors that they're on.
Yeah, but they're like floors 48 through 50.
Yeah. So I guess really we can go up however much we want.
How big is Koba? Because Doug aren't Silhouette 0, right?
Yeah, they're Silhouette 1, but they're definitely on the lower extreme of Silhouette 1. You know, they're about the size of a 9-year-old human boy.
So, I mean, we could actually just split the party in half, and the smaller pair can go the smaller route.
We could, but, like, what does that gain us? Like, as a player, I don't understand why we're talking about splitting up.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with the rope. Whatever you guys want to do. I'm also fine climbing up the air ducts.
Yeah, you should be able to get like 5 floors out of it before needing to yard up Hillary.
I'm happy to go first. However, if I run into any sort of locked doors or traps, there's nothing I can do about it.
Punch it.
Okay, I could punch it.
We'll have a metal fist, my dear.
All right, I'll give it a shot then.
He holds a hand out for your staff.
Yeah, I'll pass it to you, and Ben, I'm going to commit a force die to increase my brawn.
Okay, that sounds very sensible.
Yeah. I guess then I'm going to try to climb.
Okay, I would assume that this would be athletics on account of you committing to brawn.
That would be my hope, yeah. If it's coordination, I'm not going to get very far.
Okay, fair. I mean, transition and all that. Okay, it is a slidey surface. It is relatively clean. And it is also pretty much straight up. Thinking that this is going to be... Okay, I think it's going to be an average check.
Okay.
With a setback on account of it is a sheer middle, or relatively sheer middle surface. And
Okay.
I figure I should upgrade it once on account of you're going up without, like, you're sort of free climbing.
Okay. So a red-purple setback?
Yes.
All right, so red-purple setback versus now 4 green and my 2 remaining force rating because of enhance. Let's see what happens. Force was of no help, however, I did manage 3 successes and 2 advantages.
Why do I have the feeling that the force is like there's a small smell going on?
I'm angry about being trapped in this, like, confined space.
I mean, just to be clear, the force was only of no help because you're turning down 3 pips.
That's fair enough. I'm the one turning down the dark side points.
A teensy bit of conflict.
Let's be honest, it's the strain she's avoiding.
That's fair.
Right, totally. The strain. I'm very worried. I can only take 15 strain before I'll pass out. It's fine. Yeah, so I guess I'm going to climb pretty good. I'm hoping to, maybe with those 2 advantages, find a spot where a rope could be secured.
How I'm thinking that that's going to work is you're climbing up, and just the way that you are making your way, you're seeing that, yeah, this probably is still in use, just on account of it isn't 100% clean. It does look like things have come down. It seems like at least every now and then, like a bag is ripped, and you can see a few smears. I mean, it's a garbage chute.
Yeah, this is not my most pleasant experience ever.
At least so far up, you can see off in the distance a flashing light that's pretty irregular. You can make it about, I'm going to go with 5 floors. And what you're seeing is on every floor, there is a door for it. That it took you the equivalent of like 2 stories to find your first door. And then there does seem to be a latch, but it seems to be a pretty simple latch. It doesn't look like it's locked or anything. It's just hold the door in place, more or less. That's there. You could probably either get Skip's rope and just put it around the latch so that someone could climb up to it. You could try and push open the door after unlatching it. They seem to be alternating sides, and you got lucky. It's on your right side, on your left side, on your right side, on your left side, as the doors for putting the stuff into the refuse goes on. And they actually are relatively large-sized doors that you could see a astromech or a gonk size being able to carry something pretty large and pitch it into there.
I think, given I've made it 5 floors off of the one roll, this isn't exactly the easiest thing to do, climbing straight up unassisted, in spite of the overall success. So I think I'm going to opt to try to open up one of the latches on this floor and see if I can secure the rope that way. That way, at least we have somewhere where we can stand, catch a breather, decide if we're going to climb up further or now go find stairs. So I'll try to open up the latch.
And how are you going to open up the latch?
With
are you going to punch it, or are you wanting to attempt to like move the door? Are you wanting to like unleash on the door?
So I think probably what happens first, we don't even need to make a skill check on this. Probably at first is Kesh tries to very delicately open it, and it probably fails because she's a little bit clumsy at that. And then with a snarl, she's gonna punch the door.
All right. And yeah, I think that a couple punches and the door clanks open. That the latch on it is actually now busted. It's that sort of cast metal. It was stamped into position so that it could latch to begin with. Now it's just folded over. The force of the punch was enough that it does that comical thing of getting to the bottom of its travel and then bouncing back up immediately. So it's like clang, clank, clank. And then Kesh is able to push it down nice and easy.
See, I'm subtle.
As we're all standing at the bottom of the chute looking up. Do you suppose that was intentional, whatever that was?
Even if it wasn't, we probably shouldn't say anything.
Fair enough.
Kesh is very proud.
Also, I don't want to be dropped.
I wouldn't do that. So I'm going to get out onto the floor then, and is there anything like close to the chute that I could now try to hook the rope onto?
Yes, there is.
Okay.
I'm thinking that this is an actual old school style door, where it isn't the up and down style door from Star Wars. It's actually a more hour style. So door opens and there's an actual handle there that you could tie the rope around and then just dump the rest down the chute.
I think that's what I'm going to do then. I'm going to tie the rope off onto the handle. I'm going to throw the other end down, and now that I have something else to help me brace it, I am going to take a hold of the rope to help steady it. That way it's not just, the door handle doing it, but also my weight.
Okay.
And so I'm gonna wait there for my companions.
I'll go.
It is your rope.
Skip's ready for this.
All right. So in that case, I'm going to go with it being red-purple check for It'll be either athletics or coordination to get up.
Okie dokie.
And I'll even give a boost on account of the rope.
You said there was setbacks too?
No, the rope is getting rid of the setbacks.
I have conditioned, which removes setbacks from athletics or core. I should have done it first. I should have gone first.
Sorry.
That's
You'll
fine.
know for next time.
All right. Skip. Gangly boy. Roll. GGGRPB. Come on, D-World. Yup. All right. So Skip got themselves a little advantageous failure. So you see, it's really easy. I've done this before. You just have to get the right. My shoulder blades are not doing the thing. I think flying around in the silvered shells kind of made me a little soft.
So maybe you should warm up. Do some shoulder rolls, flail your arms
All right.
a bit. I think there's a weird powder on the floor over there. You could probably work into your hands for better grip. I'm not sure what it is, but it's there.
Oh, I've got all that dirt in my pocket still. Skip will just put their hands in their pockets.
I love how casual you say, I've got all that dirt in my pocket.
Friction up their hands. Sit down, friction up their feet, because, team barefoot.
Mm-hmm.
And,
It's one of the reasons we're the best team.
I mean, Koba, do you want to give it a go? You've got, I almost said you have more limbs than me, but that's not true.
My limbs are more versatile than yours.
You're arboretum.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm from an arboretum. Hey, Larry.
Yes.
You want to go together, back to back?
Interesting. I think that could work. We've got the rope as a good safety tool, and we could probably make good time.
That's my thinking.
All right.
Skip, just be ready to break our fall if we fall.
I'm usually pretty ready to break things. It's fine.
It's not entirely encouraging, but
I feel better.
that heart's there. It's there somewhere. Right, so we're tag teaming. That's a good thought.
Yeah. Well, for cunning.
I was about to say it's because you're cunning. Yeah, I've got a rank in coordination and 3 agility.
Yeah, coordination is definitely better for me as well. So if we are allowed to roll coordination...
Either or.
Should we both roll, or is this...
This sounds
an
like it would be a
assist?
combined check. Yeah, an assisted.
Sounds like we have the same role, Leslie, so... I don't have any talents that are going to help, although I could technically roll ebb and flow while doing this to help us with some strain, maybe?
I was about to say that. I couldn't remember. That's just strain?
Yeah, at the level I have it, it doesn't help with success at all. It just can heal strain.
Okay.
So it's just, doesn't hurt.
I mean, that's all I can do with mine is hurt or not hurt.
Yeah, I don't have any talents or anything that are going to make me specifically better, but I'm happy to make the roll if...
I encourage you to make the roll. D1 and I are not on good terms right now.
All right. So I'll roll coordination. I guess I'm just getting a boost from Hillary.
Yeah, and I'm still going to go with the boost for the rope, even though you're not really using it. Or maybe you are. I'm not entirely certain.
I mean, the way I'm imagining it is that we will get up in the chute back to back and sort of brace against each other to walk up the sides, Emperor's New Groove style. And the rope is there, so if we do slip, hopefully one or both of us, I guess since we're not secured together anyway, both of us, will have the presence of mind / manual dexterity to grab the rope so that we do not fall all the way to the bottom.
That does make a whole bunch of sense.
Of the group, you're probably going to be pretty solid on the manual dexterity. I'm probably not too shabby.
I was trying to also figure out what the equivalent for feet would be, because technically Koba could grab with either.
Well, it's potentially ped something?
Yeah, I don't know. Anyhow, I am going to roll a flow check as part of this as well.
Okay.
That just throws in my force dice. Right now I'm not committed to anything, so it's the 2 dice. And flow lets me heal strain, and if I get some extra pips, I can also heal strain off of everybody in short range, which will just be Hillary in this case. But, I'm mostly doing it so I can. It's not going to have any bearing on the success or failure of the roll. So, here we go. Okay, on that coordination check, 3 successes, 1 threat, and then a couple pips. 1 light, 1 dark. But like I said, the flow does not have any bearing on the success or failure.
You definitely make it. The 2 of you definitely make it up. I mean, 3 successes, you are able to make it up in a decent amount of time.
I was going to say, can I say that maybe the threat is, I'll take it as a strain because on one hand, this is a great method of ascension. On the other hand, twisting around to get us both out is going to be very interesting.
Okay, the funny part is that's almost exactly what I was going to say. So, yeah, I'll
Great
go with
minds, etc.
etc.
With the pips I rolled, all I can really do is heal 1 strain off of myself, unfortunately. So,
Hey.
sorry, Hillary.
Take it. It's all you. So, where did you learn to do this? I mean, for me it makes sense, but...
You heard Skip. I'm from an arboretum.
You're from a planet with trees, not tunnels and tubes.
Look, Doug are natural climbers, and it's not like I haven't used that more than a few times in my later life. Haven't spent my whole life around trees, Actually, I've spent most of my life far away from trees. Chutes like this, though, pretty common.
Fair enough. You do make good work with what you have at hand. And foot.
All right, so the question I've got for Skip, or Ren, really, are you wanting to make another attempt at climbing, or are you just wanting to, put the rope around you and just get hauled up?
I feel like
Because 3 people up there, I'm pretty sure that they'll be able to lift you up without too much problem.
that's a good point.
I could serve as an anchor, I guess.
Well, all right, everyone. See, you're all great at this. So great that you could all probably, pull me up, right? Hello?
Probably. Sure.
But the 2 of you quiet down. We're trying to be stealthy.
Oh, right. Oh, right.
Oh, right. Sorry. Oh,
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, grab on. I'm going to try to help haul Skip up.
all right.
I'll help too.
Oh, no.
Assuming it's possible for several of us to...
I'm figuring that the 3 of you would be able to actually yard on it.
I kind of love the mental image of a Doug, actually pulling up a rope like that. So many limbs. It'd be cool. Anyway.
Hillary will stand there and do the kind of the count, deep breath, pull! Deep breath, pull! Because he has nothing to offer when it comes to pulling somebody up on a rope.
That is fair.
But he will do it quietly because they are trying to be quiet. So it's deep breath, pull! If he had those little fans from, anime where he's, flailing.
Oh, wait. Hey, Skip, bring up my staff.
That's a very valid point.
Yeah, Skip can grab the staff.
Because technically Hillary had it before.
This is just going to be an average athletics check.
Okay. Brandon, I'm not trained. I've got 4 green and 2 force dice, though.
I'm not trained either.
Okay.
I don't have 4 green.
Can I get a boost for either Koba's help or Hillary's chanting? Or both?
1 boost, yes.
Okay. It was average?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Nice.
1 success. Well, actually, it'll become 2 successes as I spend that light side pip, and 3 advantages as I'm going to haul skip up.
Wonderful.
That was all quite the endeavor.
Now the 4 of you are on the 5th floor with Skip's rope and Kesha's staff.
Thank you.
All right. 5 floors up.
Only 45 more to go.
Yeah, but now we can probably go to the stairs.
I was going to say high five, but I don't know how many digits I have. How many fingers do I have?
Huh?
Didn't we already determine that you only had 4?
I was going to say high five, but it doesn't work.
I think most of us have 4 or 3.
Encouraging slap of the hand? I don't know. Thumbs up. I can still do that.
High amount of digits from 6 to 8. 5.
High digits. Let's just go high digits.
There we go.
High digits.
You could just say up high.
Up high.
Oh,
And then everybody else goes up high, and Hillary's like,
Oh.
No, actually, down low.
Too slow.
Okay, there we go.
oh. Now you're just being mean.
I kind of hope now that we are being watched by one of like the camera bots or whatever. That's ridiculousness.
Koba is going to look around.
As you're looking around, you can see that emergency lighting is on, but that seems to be about it. It looks to be when it was in full use. It was a mid-level apartment building. Each floor has a little bit of a square in the middle of it. Like it has a small amenity, like a little conversation nook, or, well, the one that you're on actually has a relatively large planter that has some plants in it, and over that it has a good grow light, and you can see some tubing in the ceiling that is arranged in such a way that heavily suggests that when the sun's out, this will be bringing in natural light. But with it raining outside and it also being night-ish, it's just got a grow light on it that is currently illuminating the plant installation and a little bit around it. Otherwise, the only thing you can really hear is the buzz of that lighting. Otherwise, you can't really hear anything except for the light drizzle on a faraway window, and every now and then a muffled crash of lightning.
All right. Well, so, I mean, I don't know if you noticed, but I wasn't really all that great at part 1 of our plan, but I have a part 2.
Go on.
Does it involve stairs?
Well, it could. It can involve whatever we want, because what I'm thinking is that, you know how I did that thing where in that fight we, had the kind of like dirt swirl and stuff, and Hillary was kind of hidden? If we all lumped together, I could do that same sort of thing. And if there are security measures, whoever's watching will just be like, oh, it's all fuzzy. That's my impression of whoever's watching.
Now, when you do the dirt cloud thing, can you see through it?
Well, that's a technicality I hadn't thought about.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's a technicality that maybe Brandon can help me with.
Sorry, that's the first logical question that came into mind.
Force user may spend to give all characters within short range concealment. Up, 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 up.
I like the official reading the rules voice.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about it is the rules for concealment, the base rules for concealment, don't say anything about what the concealed person can see, because they're built to represent everything from physical cover to darkness to smoke, etc. An alter as a power is written such that it's kind of up to the player to theme what is giving the concealment.
Fair. Very fair.
So there is no strictly correct mechanical answer to this question.
Okay, so if we surround ourselves in a dirt cloud, will that restrict our vision as much as it restricts others?
Well, it might, but we could all just, maybe sort of like hold hands or something, and the first person could stick their head out a little bit.
Oh, I meant for the purposes of looking out for traps.
I mean, the traps wouldn't have concealment, I guess, is the sort of strict mechanical answer. But ultimately, Ben's the adjudicator of in this instance.
They wouldn't have concealment, but if you're looking at something like pressure plates or tripwires or something like that, I'd figure with whatever Skip is doing, that would make it harder to see.
Yeah.
So then that's the question, is I like the idea of blocking out what the cameras can see, but then the danger is we know that this place is booby-trapped.
Alternately, could Skip just make it float around kind of over our heads and around kind of like a tunnely cloud thing?
Could Skip do that? I don't, rules is... Wait, I'm looking at Hermit. That's the wrong book. Ugh.
It's some of what are you wanting to do with it? Like, are you wanting to create a swirling vortex above you? The one thing I'll point out is that the ceilings here are... I'm figuring that they're somewhat normal ceilings, like, okay, maybe taller than normal ceilings and putting them at like 12 feet. But I'm figuring that they would still be not exactly super high like they are in the like Jedi Temple or anything. I'm figuring that they'd actually be ceilings size.
Yeah, I mean, Hillary has a way better idea, and I should have thought about that before. I could just make a little floating thing if we see any cameras. The thing is that I wasn't sure if we knew where the surveillance was coming from. If I can see that, then sure, I can definitely obscure it, but...
Typically, when you're in a public location, they prefer to observe from above because you're less likely to kick a camera if it's on the ceiling.
Do we actively see anything that looks like it could be a recording device? Is I guess the question.
That's a pretty good question. So you walk out of the garbage room, and now you're in the more common area where you can see the lighting, the plant installation. And in that case, I'm going to go with you do see one, but you can see that it is damaged.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the dome where the hollow recorder was, but it looks like it has been yanked down. The camera part of itself is hanging from the wires that were there, and the dome itself is askew. It looks like one of the wires is most likely pulled from the back of the device. It's still hanging on one of them, but probably not both.
I like the notion, Skip. Perhaps we should do like your cloud thing ahead of us a ways, maybe? In the direction that we're heading. And then as we come closer, we can make a better inspection, but that way we can move with some expediency without thinking immediately that we're going to be seen.
Yeah. All right.
He steps back and kind of holds his hands out like, do your thing. He makes basically woo-woo hands like, ugh.
All right. Well, I mean, I'll do it once we get to a point where we, I think we need it, because I don't really know how long I can hold it.
Fair enough. Koba, would you like to take point?
Sure.
Do you sense anything? Where you go all still and kind of listen?
I can try.
And then know things?
I guess I'll try and sense.
Okay.
I just like the idea that Koba will periodically do the still and then move into action thing because he's using his awareness.
Yeah, the thing is right now, Koba can only sense up to short range, so the odds of him sensing anything that we can't see are just low from a distance standpoint. Anyway, I have sensed all living things within short range.
All right, you're on the 5th floor. Figure short range would go up and down a level because short range.
Yeah, it's a couple meters in any direction.
I'm figuring it's the 4 of you and the plants. Surprisingly enough, the plants are still alive.
Yeah.
Oh, there is a grow light. Somebody's taking care of them.
We're alone, at least as far as biologicals are concerned.
Okay. Well, let's go somewhere up, I guess.
Skip's gonna kind of step behind Hillary and just slump just a little bit.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
You're taking the stairs going up?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
I'm figuring that it's just then going to be green white from going in the door to the staircase, coming out the door of the staircase, because you get up to, I'm going to go with the 30th floor, and it's at that point between the way the stairs are going, it's got a square hole going top to bottom. You've got 4 landings that go up. So you go across about, 7 stairs up, landing, turn, 7 stairs, turn, or the equivalent thereof. As you're going up from level 30, you've got the landing that's got the door going into the hallway. Then you've got the stairs that would go up. And as you turn to see from that landing up, it looks like those stairs have been, on account of you don't see any debris for it, it looks like that section of stairs that between landing and landing has been removed. As the glow rods go over it, you can see a point, or you can see an entire darkened charcoal-y line going on along the top of where those stairs would be, like the jagged triangles of where stairs would be, biting into the duracrete underneath.
Well, this is inconvenient.
Think you can jump it, Cash?
I think so. How much range band-wise are we talking about here?
If we're talking just pure range band, it would be at short range. Short vertically and short horizontally.
Okay. I'll stop my commitment of the force die for Braun and see if I can do a force jump over there.
Okay.
I haven't done this very much. I rolled 2 light side pips and 2 dark side pips. I think... Just double checking my notes here. I think it's just the one. Yeah, just for short range. I think it's just 1 pip. Unless I need to spend a pip essentially for both horizontal and vertical. I'm not sure how that works.
From what I can tell, as long as you've got that control upgrade for...
Which I do.
When performing a force leap, then yeah, it's both.
Okay, then I'll spend the 1 pip to jump out to short range.
So when you get there, could I get a vigilance check from Cash?
You certainly may. What's my difficulty?
It is a 2 red, 2 purple vigilance check.
Ooh, okay.
Does Cash have the glow stick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably not. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Let's find out.
I mean, it's technically a good thing.
Okay, that was a roll! It was 2 yellow, 2 green, a boost versus the 2 red and 2 purple. And I got 2 successes, a threat, a triumph, and a despair.
And 3 blank dice.
Yep.
Beautiful.
So let's start off with, what are the successes? What do I see?
For the successes, you are seeing a pressure plate. That as you came in and landed, that there is a pressure plate that you were seeing.
Okay, what order do we want to spend the other things in?
Generally like to spend the positive stuff. I'm just going to bank the threat because that makes a tiny bit of sense considering he should have a bit of a threat bank himself.
Let's discuss the triumph as a group for a moment here. What do we want to maybe get out of that? Maybe something like, because this area is trapped, there aren't cameras in this area, so if we're able to get around them, we're not detected. Maybe there's something convenient on this side to bridge the gap to allow the rest of you to cross over.
A ladder, maybe?
Yeah, like a little ladder or something.
Because I figured it would be something light and slender, because that's so like an aluminum ladder that you just kind of slide across and use, and then you pull it back to whatever side you would be on.
Yeah.
So it's always kind of a problem for the next person.
I agree with that. Any objections or better ideas?
Nope.
All right. Then the triumph is we have a ladder over here that I can use to bridge the gap for my friends.
Okay. I can definitely go with that.
Oh, there you go, Leslie. There you go.
There you go.
I have an easy suggestion for the despair.
Okay.
Bad landing.
Yeah, that I've like if it's like a mine or something like that, I've stepped on the pressure plate, but I haven't taken my foot off. So I need this to be disarmed before I can move safely.
Okay, I like that
it.
one.
Yeah.
Okay, and you did get 2 successes, so one of the other things that, now that you know what you're looking for, you remember on the other landing, the one that you leapt from, there was a small pressure plate in front of the missing stairs.
Oh.
But yes, right now you have your foot on the pressure plate for what's up there.
A couple things. One, don't walk too far forward. There is a pressure plate on your side.
For clarification,
That one's already gone off.
that one has gone off. That's the actual reason why those stairs aren't there.
It might have already gone off. That might be why there are no stairs. Problem 2, I landed on a pressure plate over here. Good news, I have a ladder here. So if you will want to come across and maybe Koba wants to take a look and see if there's a safe way to maybe disarm this plate. Either that or you all can try to move on ahead and I can see if I can outjump it. That's a terrible idea.
Yes, it is.
We'll call that Plan B.
No. We'll call it like Plan M.
M.
Shouldn't I be Plan K for Kesh?
No, that would be K for killed. Let's just... We're not going to do it.
Is the ladder where I can like grab it with my claws and like bring it forward to create the bridge?
Absolutely.
Or do I? Okay. So then I will do that as opposed to using the move power. So I'll lay the ladder across, kind of stand there awkwardly.
Maybe you should wait here.
Wait.
Yeah, I'll wait.
Not you.
Do you want us to wait here? What if you need help?
I'm just saying maybe I should go over there and take a look before we all clamber over to where there may be, I don't know, thermal detonators or something.
He'll hold his hands up. Fair enough. I will wait here.
Koba clambers up the ladder. Or across the ladder. I guess it's kind of both. I assume it's at an incline.
Hey, Koba.
Koba will inspect the mechanism.
Since the mechanism is already known where it is, you're able to see it that this is actually a pretty cunningly deployed pressure plate. It looks like someone took the time to hammer out the duracrete here, get it all almost perfectly flat. It even has a little skin of reflowed duracrete on top, so it would pretty much blend right in. You do see a trail for where the electrics go off. If you were wanting to disarm it or mess around with it, it does look like the mechanism for it is there for you to. It also doesn't look like it's going into a detonite line. This looks to be something of a different matter.
Approximately how tricky does it look to safely disarm it?
It looks to be pretty tricky. It would essentially be a opposed check versus Zell's mechanics.
It would be skullduggery or mechanics on my part.
Like both of those, but both of those are perfectly acceptable. Skills, it would be 2 and 2, 2 red and 2 purple.
Kesh, how much do you weigh?
Well, that's a little personal.
Okay, you can just die here if you'd rather.
No. I weigh an appropriate amount for a lizard woman of my size.
Ah, yes. Sounds about right.
In the correct weight increments as well?
With the armor and everything, I'd bet a little over 100 kilograms.
Skip.
Mhm.
See if you can find like a planter or something. A heavy one. Maybe a bunch. Maybe a piece of furniture.
Probably do it on the other side so you don't have to carry it across the ladder. Can I come help yet? I'm getting nervous.
Yes, fine. It's fine. Just don't
Don't touch things.
touch anything.
I'll stand very quietly in a corner. Okay.
Yeah, I guess Skip will go look for something. Indiana Jones swap out on this pressure plate.
We're going to Indiana Jones this pressure plate. It worked great for Indiana Jones.
It really did. Still gonna maybe recommend before we... You know what? Just do your thing, Koba. I trust you.
All right, I go look for something heavy. Like a barrel or something.
Okay, two things that jump out at Skip right away. Well, jump out's probably the wrong phrasing.
Oh
but,
no,
yeah.
it's the temple guard.
Again, it's just emergency lighting on this floor, except this looks to be not as well maintained. Like, you can hear the fuzzing of the overhead light. The zzz. When you get to the common area, which isn't that far off of the stairwell, what's there is a small playground. It's got a small slide, a few climbing bricks, like meter by meter by meter, that kids can climb in, that have pretty standard shapes on it, all very brightly colored. A little ridge around it that holds in a ball pit kind of thing. Otherwise, there's an actual trash receptacle there that looks to be a standard garbage can where someone would toss something in and then a droid would come along later, take the bin liner out and put a new one in.
Like Skip is going to be of the opinion that it doesn't have to be like the exact same weight as Kesh, just like to weigh the plate down. So I'm going to grab one of those blocks that you described
Okay.
and hoist it on over to Koba. All right. I have something heavy.
Okay, Hillary, Skip, you should probably get clear. I'm not sure what's going to happen if this doesn't work.
Koba, are you strong enough to move this? Shouldn't you go get cover and I can put it on?
I can do it.
All right.
Should they stay on their side of the ladder or continue forward in case this messes up?
I assume we should keep moving upward.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Just be
All right,
careful, please.
I'll move a little bit.
Hillary smiles and kind of shuffles toward the next section of stairs.
Yeah, Skip will follow.
Koba is going to commit a die to the defensive use of sense, just in case.
That seems practical.
And then look at Kesh. Ready.
Ready?
Koba will push the thingy onto the pressure plate. And then once he feels contented that it is on the pressure plate sufficiently, signal Kesh to move.
She'll take her foot off of the plate, tense, waiting for a moment for something to happen.
Then the roll?
The skullduggery, you mean?
Yeah, the skullduggery roll.
Oh, I thought this was instead of the roll.
It would be helped because of the stuff, but no, this would be a...
Okay, I don't feel good about that roll, so I was trying to find a way to avoid having to make it.
I'll give you a couple upgrades on account of the counterweight.
That was smart thinking and a great way to describe and add detail to it.
Is that how many upgrades then?
Gonna go with 2 upgrades.
All right. Against 2 reds and 2 purples.
Yeah, and I'll give you a boost for Kesh coordinating with you.
And why not throw in my other force die for flow?
Then use a light side point too.
I'm already at 4 yellows.
So let's get a green in there.
Okay.
I'll flip it. I don't want to blow up. Well, that was a roll.
That sure was. That was so many dice for so little action. We have 3 advantage.
So Kesh steps off the plate and
Kesh steps off the plate, and then the 2 of you are enveloped in a cloud of gas. It starts spewing out from a couple nozzles that had been hidden in the wall. The cloud is a dark orangish color that is of a choking style gas. The 2 of you need to make a hard resilience check each.
Okay. 3 green, a force rating, thank you, enhance. Versus 3 purple. I netted 2 successes. I'm not going to spend any of the dark side pips.
I got a success and a threat on a...
Nice!
I was pretty sure that was not going to end well, but...
Sweet! I was expecting it not to end well for either of you, but I'm quite happy that it succeeded for both of you.
Yeah.
As am I.
For the threat on mine, maybe Koba just inhales just a little of it, and it does a strain from, like, I don't know, burning nostrils or something. I don't know exactly what it is.
That sounds about right. As you get up to the next landing, since you're all going up, as you scramble up to the next landing, Koba turns and takes a look at the color of the cloud now that he's out of it. Sees that it's a crowd control style gas, that this one usually is knocking people out. That's pretty much what it does. It makes movement very sluggish. Mm-hmm. If someone gets a good mouthful or snootful, you can see that very shortly after, the pressure pad clicks back up into position and the jets stop, which you're pretty sure is resetting it.
Okay. I might have lowballed it. It might be more like 115 kilograms. I'll be more accurate next time.
I don't know if I should be encouraged or concerned that his traps are non-lethal.
Well, that one was. The broken stairs don't look like they were.
Depends. Just gotta ask yourself, had we all been knocked out there, what would he have done?
Let's not find out, please.
Easier to blow us up if he was just going to kill us.
Mm-hmm.
But he was a spy, and I feel as though they often look for connections, and it is often difficult to do so with a corpse without, first exchanging, shall we say, pleasantries.
You could have just said question and then kill us.
I could have just said that, but then I wouldn't have been me, would I?
No.
Just don't do that again. Watch your feet.
I was.
Let's keep moving.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Heroes of the Hydian Way. You can find show updates on Twitter at The Hydian Way, and you can find me, Ben, on Twitter at Deuterium Ice.
You can find me on Twitter at Blue of the Kim.
I am at Leslit GS.
I'm at 12th Night. That's 12th and Night with a K.
I'm Ren over at Ren Apollo.
We are all at thehydianway.com, where you can find previous episodes.
You can find more episodes on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. Plus, you can help us out by rating, reviewing, and subscribing.
We are also on Facebook as The Hydian Way, and you can holocom us at heroes@thehydianway.com.
If you like what we do and you want to support the show, you can find us at patreon.com/thehydianway.
Or you can send the team some CAF at ko-fi.com/thehydianway.
Just don't send us more heart attacks. I can't take it.
I was going to ask your opinion of sand.
It leaves a residue.
A residue?
Yeah. And, it gets everywhere.
It is coarse.
Very irritating.
And rough.
Mm-hmm.
Happy birthday, Attack of the Clones.
See, I knew what you wanted, but I didn't really want to, give it to you.
I mean, fair.
Not exactly,
Well, yeah, you gotta make me fight for it a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Last time, our heroes were in a pickle.
Excuse you.
I thought we were in a garbage truck.
There might have been pickles. You don't know. I believe the phrase is previously on Heroes of the Hydian Way.
Oh yeah, we have somebody whose job that actually is.
Our heroes
Trying
hitched a
to
lift.
do that job. Just trying to segue us,
Skip, you were looking for a pickle?
I like
no,
pickles.
no. Pickles are too salty. I've mentioned salt as a problem before, right? Yes.
Does it dry you out?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
So it's like all salt.
Well, I mean, you can have some in moderation, and I know I'm not really a being that's, ever advocates for moderation, but salt is definitely on moderation.
But is that why you like sweets so much?
You're kind of Arcona-like.
Well, they just get addicted to salt. It's like
Also,
a
this
drug
is
for
all
them.
just nonsense I'm making up because, yet again, I've chosen another species that has very little written about it so that I could make up whatever I wanted.
That's fair.
And I'm just
And I
basing it
support-
on. I'm just
Absolutely fair,
basing
yeah.
it on, frog
Well,
physiology.
stay away from packaged foods then.
And don't
all
eat
those
the rocks in the bottom
preservatives.
of your kennel.
Which actually probably makes. I don't know if that'll make it easier.
I wasn't prepared for that.
But, wow.
I like your notion. Ren. Who's Ren? One moment, please.
I think it's a kind of bird.
Don't look
Judge
at
ate
the
one once.
names of the players while you're trying to speak with the characters.
Just make something up. I weigh 7 parsnips. That is
Those are big
7
parsnips.
stone parsnips. That's how we weigh things in Trendoshia. I don't know what it's called. The planet.
with the armor and everything, I'd bet
Oh, at least 8 stone parsnips then.
at least a little over 100 kilograms.